Let's bring Justin Adams in now to discuss this. Sort of our resident expert.
Excuse me.
Former NFL tight end, right? No, that's not true. You didn't
That's
play.
true. I was close to being in the NFL. And close in my dreams. I was
played
there.
at CU,
I
and
did.
then
Yes.
and then it was over.
Yeah, it was
okay,
done.
but you were that close to the NFL.
It's like the Bucs
right.
season. It started with a 2-2 start, and then we're still waiting for that next win.
But how about those Rammies, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Rams did well, except for they lost at Air Force. I mean,
that was a good game.
But hey, look,
it was good.
Maybe they're going to lose their coach next. That's going to be the big problem.
That is true.
For CSU.
That is true. That is.
Jim
It
McElwain.
can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It can happen. A lot of openings.
Yeah, let's talk about last night. We've talked about the defense being dominating. We talked about the run game again. Right. We talked about going to Kansas City. We talked about creativity.
Exactly.
We talked about a field goal kicker who was lying on the line next to the pool a few days ago and went 5 for 5 in Arrowhead. What impressed you the most last night, or was it just the overall picture?
Well, what impressed me the most is just how this team was so aggressive. And going back into the first half where the Broncos ran a fake punt. Right. And, you know, it was after a penalty and, you know, the Broncos, you know, pinned in the Chiefs inside their 10-yard line. And you were thinking, okay, well, you know, you take the penalty, you know, Chiefs take the penalty and everything will be fine. They'll kick the ball off and the Chiefs will get better field position. But the Broncos ran a fake punt. And that's what I love to see is just the aggressiveness. Already up 14-0 on the road in a great environment like Arrowhead, and playing hard and doing things like that. That is great to see from that team.
We've had a couple of games this season where we started off slow.
Yes.
And where the defense started off slow.
Right.
But last night, both the offense and the defense came out fired up. When you thought it probably should have been Kansas City was the team that should have been, been all pumped up because it was a home game.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting is I think what happened is Kansas City, again, they had 10 days to prepare for this game. Sometimes you go overthink, and that's too much. I mean, the first drive, they're a running team. Right. What are you doing throwing the ball 3 times in a row? And so
3 and out, and then
3 and out.
The Broncos run it right down the field.
Right down the field.
Right. They score. Peyton to DT. It's 14-0.
Yeah.
Then you have Quentin Carter and DeMarcus Ware taking chances.
Exactly.
You've got the fake punt that you mentioned. Then it's 4th and 1. They hand it to CJ. He gets 12.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a dominating performance. You can nitpick little bitty things, but overall, I think the Broncos showed that they are built for the playoffs right now better than they have been the last 2 years.
Yeah, and usually the way, how do you beat Peyton Manning is you get him off the field. The Broncos had the ball for 39 minutes, and the Chiefs only had the ball for 21.
Right.
I mean, the Broncos, ran, a myriad of plays. The Chiefs only ran 41 plays in a game. Just to let you know, Mitch, that means it's not a lot of plays from the offense. Just to let you know, it's not a good thing from the Chiefs. Not at all. But the Broncos defense definitely held up firm. You know, you go back into the second half. There was a turnover, an interception that happened early in the game, and the Chiefs could have had the opportunity to get back into the game and didn't. And they were held to a field goal. So the Broncos did an awesome job in all areas, especially on defense yesterday.
And I'm impressed again with all the adjustments they made because we were a little nervous about this game last week. And then watching a couple of games that we've dropped this year where they just seemed to be kind of stuck in a rut and they weren't changing it up. Well, it's easy to sit at home on the couch and go, what are you doing? You should do this and that. But they did it. They made the adjustments, and it worked for them.
Yeah, definitely make the adjustments. But the biggest thing is, again, just what I talked about a couple of weeks ago. You go with the running game. What's the biggest thing that I said? It wasn't that you just run the football. That means nothing.
It just frees up Manning.
Yeah. But it's the variety of running plays, running to the outside. In the first quarter, they did several stretch running plays, kind of like the old Terrell Davis Broncos and everything. All that opens up what you can do in the passing game. And, with the crosswinds and everything that was going on, you needed a great running game in order to win that game.
You need a running back too that can break tackles, as Frank from Kansas City mentioned. If C.J. Anderson goes down on first contact, the first Chief to get to him, he has 78 yards rushing.
Yeah,
he got most of those yards after contact. And that's a key as well. If you got a running back that can break the first tackle or the first 2 tackles and you get positive yards, that's key, and I think they found that in C.J. Anderson.
And the biggest thing that you look for in a running back is this. Does he always fall forward? Does he always keeps his legs moving? And that's the difference between a very good running back and just somebody who's just average, is that when they take the first lick, do they fall forward? Do they keep their knees moving? And that's something that C.J. Anderson does. And you know what? Those tough tackles that you have to break in the first quarter become arm tackles that you could just easily run through in the fourth quarter. So very, very good to see him running the ball.
Yeah,
all right,
it was good to see. It was fun.
We'll see you in a few minutes for some fantasy.
Look good, man. I like that.
See,
Look,
C.J. Anderson.
You need to get one.
No, thank you. No, thank you.